Did you know your gut holds more neurons than your spinal cord? It's not just digestion, it's your immune system, your mood, your second brain. Let's break down what your body's been trying to tell you.
Please hit that subscribe button now and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Don't forget to check the description below for links to our trusted sponsors and ways you can support the show.
You know what's mind-blowing? Scientists estimate we're carrying around 4 to 6 pounds of bacteria in our gut. That's trillions of microscopic organisms affecting everything from our mood to our immune system.
That's fascinating. And what's really interesting is how these tiny organisms can have such a massive impact on our overall health.
Exactly. And here's something that might surprise people. The gut is often called our second brain because it contains more neurons than our spinal cord. It's actually producing neurotransmitters that affect our mood and behavior.
Well, that certainly explains why we get those gut feelings. But what should people actually be watching out for when it comes to gut health?
So there's this really clear triad of symptoms that gastroenterologists look for: bloating, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. But, and this is important, we're talking about diarrhea without blood and no fever or weight loss.
That's helpful to know the distinction. What about normal bowel patterns? I feel like that's something people are often confused about.
Oh man, this is interesting. What's considered normal is way broader than most people think. You're looking at anywhere from once every 3 days to 3 times a day. It's like this huge bell curve of normal.
That's such a wide range. But I'm guessing what matters more is your personal pattern.
Exactly right. Like if someone's been having 2 bowel movements daily their whole adult life and suddenly switches to 1 every 2 days, even though both frequencies are technically normal, that's actually a significant change worth noting.
You know what really concerns me? The whole antibiotic situation. I mean, they're obviously necessary sometimes, but what are they actually doing to our gut?
Well, this is where it gets pretty serious. When antibiotics disrupt our normal gut bacteria, it can lead to something called C. diff. That's Clostridium difficile. And here's the scary part, it's becoming increasingly resistant to treatment.
So what can people actually do to protect their gut health? I keep seeing ads everywhere for probiotics.
That's a great question. While probiotics are often recommended, especially for those 3 main symptoms we talked about, the research is still somewhat limited. But here's what's interesting. Doctors often suggest trying them after ruling out more serious conditions.
And what about prebiotics? I've heard they're important too, but I'm not really clear on the difference.
So think of it this way. Prebiotics are like fertilizer for your gut garden. They're these undigestible carbohydrates that feed the good bacteria. And there's actually this cool combination called synbiotics that combines both pre and probiotics.
Well, that makes so much more sense now. Speaking of what we put in our bodies, what's the deal with gluten? It seems like everyone has an opinion about it.
You know, this is where it gets really interesting. There's celiac disease, which can be definitively tested for, but then there's this whole other category called non-celiac gluten sensitivity. And here's the thing. If gluten makes you feel bad, it's perfectly okay to avoid it, even without a celiac diagnosis.
That reminds me of how some people react so differently to certain foods, like how bananas can affect people in completely opposite ways.
Right. Some people get constipated, others get diarrhea, and some just get stomach pain. And here's what's fascinating. We still don't fully understand why these individual reactions vary so much. It's part of what makes treating gut issues so complex.
So what's the bottom line for maintaining good gut health? What should people actually be doing?
Well, it really comes down to some basic principles. First, eat a well-balanced diet rich in fiber, fruits, and vegetables. And here's something interesting about fiber. It actually helps with both diarrhea and constipation because it's hydrophilic, meaning it loves water.
That's pretty amazing how one substance can help with opposite problems. What about early life? Does how we start out affect our gut health?
Oh, absolutely fascinating stuff here. The gut microbiome actually starts developing at birth, and breastfeeding plays a huge role. The immunoglobulins in breast milk help develop the immune system, including gut health. It's like nature's perfect starter kit for the microbiome.
When should people actually be concerned enough to see a doctor about gut issues?
So there are some clear red flags: unexplained abdominal pain, weight loss, blood in the stool, or any significant change in bowel habits. Also, trouble swallowing, persistent heartburn, or unexplained nausea and vomiting. And here's something people often miss. Unexplained weight loss frequently has a connection to gut health.
You know what's really striking about all this? How interconnected everything is. It's not just about digestion.
That's right. We're discovering more and more that gut health is linked to everything from our immune system to our mental health. And here's something wild. Research is showing that the gut microbiome might even influence our food cravings and mood.
Well, that certainly puts a new spin on trust your gut.
And you know what's really exciting? We're just scratching the surface of understanding our gut microbiome. Scientists are discovering new connections almost daily between gut health and various diseases. It's like we're exploring this incredible internal universe.
So, what's the key takeaway for people listening?
I'd say it's this. Your gut is like this amazing, complex ecosystem that needs careful attention. Pay attention to changes, eat a varied diet, be mindful with antibiotics, and don't ignore persistent symptoms. Your gut health is literally central to your overall well-being.
Thanks for tuning in to the Wellness Lab Digest. If this episode helped you, here are 3 quick ways to support the show. 1. Subscribe to stay updated with fresh, body-loving wellness insights. 2. Share this episode with a friend who needs this today. 3. Comment below and tell us what topics you'd love to hear next. Want to do even more? Check the video description for ways to support the show. Stay curious, stay well, and we'll see you in the next episode.